Hello, my name is Greg Cole, and I'm an instructor in the Renewable Energy Program here at YTC. I'll be talking to you today about Google Meet. You may have used Google Hangouts in the past and are wondering if Google Meet is much different. The short answer is that it's basically the same thing, but with time, small, subtle changes have been made. We will look at some of these upgrades in this presentation. The first thing you're going to do is find the invitation and join the meeting. The next slides will show you that there are several ways to do so. To join a meeting from Google Meet itself, first, log into your Gmail account. Look in the top right corner for the Google Apps button and click on the button. Once the menu opens, look for the Meet icon and click on this button. A new tab will open, and in it you will see all the scheduled meetings you have for that particular day. Note also that this is where you can add an image to your account. The picture I used is of me working on a solar installation. If you double click on that spot where my image is, you will be asked to upload an image yourself, an image of you. But it doesn't have to be an image, it can also be a symbol. The image will be used in Google Meet, and it is discussed again later on in the presentation. You can also join a meeting by entering the calendar item itself. You will notice the beginning steps are very similar to joining from Google Meet. Start from your Gmail account, if it's open, then click on the Google Apps button. Finally, when the menu opens, click on the calendar button. Once you are viewing the calendar, select the meeting you want to enter. If you don't see a meeting listed, your instructor may not have added your email and invite to the meeting in this way. If this is the case, you may need to look for an email invitation that provides a link to the meeting. Once you have clicked on the calendar item, this window will appear. Just click on the Join with Google Meet button. One last note here regarding joining a meeting by phone. You may be tempted to enter the meeting with your phone due to maybe poor internet connection, but this is not the way to do it. We'll talk about this, or a better way, in slide 17. If you find the address to the meeting, or the URL, in an email, just copy and paste it directly into your browser as shown here. Then click on the Enter key on your keyboard. Okay, so now if everything went well, you should see a screen similar to this one, minus the picture of me. This is where you can choose to share your camera image with the rest of the class and instructor. I would strongly recommend turning it on, or at the very least add a picture of yourself or some symbol within Gmail. Your picture is displayed in a situation when you don't have the camera on. Now, if you don't see your live image and the buttons I've circled are red in color, then you may need to set up your camera and microphone. Also note that your computer may not have a camera or a microphone attached. Click on the image of the camera to turn it on or off, then join the meeting by clicking the Join Now button. Sometimes you may see your image, but below the button to join says Ask to Join instead of Join Now, as shown in previous slides. Don't worry too much about this. Just click on that button when you're ready to enter the meeting. Great, now you're in the meeting. If at any time there's a lot of background noise, you can click on the mic button to mute your sound. Just remember, though, that you will need to click on it to unmute the mic when you're ready to ask a question. If you don't see the menu, you just need to move your mouse around on the screen. This action will activate the menu at the bottom there. There are several important menu options I will now point out. Clicking on Meeting Details will open the following menu where you can see the meeting address and a dial-in phone number. Remember, you do not want to call this number as long-distance charges will be applied. Note, your instructor may have added a document directly to the calendar invitation. In this case, you will see the attachment and be able to download it to your computer. Next to the meeting details, you will see the mic button that we've already talked about. Next to it is a phone icon that is used to leave or exit a call. You can turn the camera on or off with the next button. The icon looks like an old-style movie camera. But again, I would recommend you leave the camera on. It's much easier for your instructor when they see their students in the classroom. Next to the camera icon is the Turn On Captions button. This is used to have the system display the text of what your instructor is saying to the bottom of the screen. This is a particularly useful tool when you are having trouble hearing or you can't turn up the volume in your particular location. At some point, you may be asked by your instructor to present something to the class. The Present Now button allows you to do this, and there are several options to consider. Displaying your entire screen is a great way when you will be moving between several different programs, and that's what I would recommend for most students. The last button at the far right is the More Options button. I will go over several of these items. If you click on the Change Layout button, you were provided with several options. The best way to learn what they do is to try them out during a live meeting. At any time, returning to the menu and clicking on Auto will return your layout to the default style. This is where you set up and test both your sound and your video. Audio settings are displayed in the window showing. Of course, you'd click on Video to change video settings or test them. There are several reasons why someone would want to use their phone to hear the meeting. For example, maybe your internet connection is not working well and the speaker's voice is garbled or breaking up. Using your phone to hear the meeting is a good option, but not if you have to pay long-distance charges. To avoid charges, do not, I repeat, do not use the dial-in method. This requires you to call a US number. The Call Me option is best, but again, if you don't have Canada-wide calling as an option on your phone plan, then you may still be looking at paying long-distance charges. So make sure you check your plan before trying this method. Basically, though, the method is quite simple. You just enter your phone number here, click on the Call Me button in the bottom right-hand corner of the window, and Google will call you, and it'll ask you when you're ready to enter the meeting by just typing or clicking on your phone the 1 key. Simple as that. Then you're entered into the conversation. The last two buttons I wanted to tell you about are shown in the top right corner of Google Meet. They are the Chat button and the Show Everyone button. The number next to the button shows the number of participants in the meeting. For some unknown reason, the instructor's presentation is included in this number. Note, if you can't see the instructor's presentation, you can click on the Show Everyone button and then click on the presentation to force it to display. So sometimes if you're playing around with different views, you will lose the instructor's presentation. So you'll need to come or click on the People button here to see the presentation again. Chat is a useful tool at times. Some instructors will ask students to use chat to ask questions. Chat messages are sent to everyone at the same time. And no, you cannot send a message directly to a single person. The message is only displayed for a few moments on screen. So if you missed a classmate's message, you will need to open the chat window to see it. I hope you found this tutorial useful. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email and I will reply as soon as I can. Enjoy Google Meets.